everyone, it's Alana. Welcome back to my channel for another video. So today is going to be so super fun because David has got his very first dressage competition. So we will be doing the unaffiliated, we'll be doing intro 1 and prelim 1, and in intro I will be competing HC. So that means that I won't be in the placings, but we just get to see where we're at, what we're scoring and how we're feeling. I've been putting off competing Dave for so long because I keep going, oh, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. I backed him during my final year of uni, so like it's been very slow going, and we've worked through many different technicalities when it comes to Dave, because he does get very worried, so it's just keeping it all calm and nice and chilled. And then I turned around the other day and I went, do you know what, we've got a competition at home, let's just enter for the funsies. So I'm looking forward to getting him all dressed up. He's not seeming entirely enthusiastic about it at the minute, but he's gonna have a good time, I promise. And I'm really looking forward to it. I've learnt my tests. Not sure how the prelim's gonna go because the canter is a little bit hit and miss, but it's not going on his record. We are just gonna go and have a really good time, and David is gonna be officially a dressage horse. So the first question of the day is, how on earth do I plait all this? And you might be thinking, oh Lana, that's not much mane. Oh, yeah, he's got two. Hello, good morning. David's first, oh, let me get that out of your ear, there we go. David's first official set of plaits. He's not impressed, he just wants to eat his hay. But yeah, I'm not normally one for pulling manes, but I really should have, because he's got golf balls and tennis balls going down his neck. They're so big, they are so big. Oh well, it'll do, and he'll look cutie patootie. Right, the saddle is officially on, the plaits are done, and the boy is looking so adorable. I can't believe we're doing a first dressage test. To me, in my head, he is still just that 6-month-old that I got. So cute. But yes, I'm about to go get myself ready. I'm gonna get Sir's treats out, and then we are gonna start attempting to get on, because that could take a while. Right, girlies, this is the fit. We're going grey with the grey hat and the grey man. So yeah, super looking forward to today. We're just gonna get to see at what point Dave's at, and especially the judge. Apparently she does actually score. So normally with unaffiliated, you can take a few % off whatever you score, and that'll normally be your affiliated score if you did decide to go affiliated. Apparently this judge scores like it is actually affiliated, so we'll get a proper accurate measure of where we're at, and if it goes all terribly wrong, it is not on Dave's record. I'm not expecting to do well at all. I just want a bit of fun, and honestly I just wanted to get him all dressed up. He's so cute, aren't you, baby? But yes, if you see a bulge in my pocket, it's because I've got all of David's treats in there to convince him to let me get on him. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, I promise. So when it comes to the actual act of getting on Dave, it's just a case of seeing who can outweight the other the longest. Dave's not panicked about it, he's not like scared or anything. He just knows that when he's next to the mountain block, if he takes half a step back, I can't reach. So every time I get him next to the mountain block, he will take half a step back, and then I'll step him forward, and then he takes half a step back. So it's just one of those things where you've got to have lots of patience, and that's why I knew I had to get on early, just because I knew it might take a little bit of time. And that's why I've got the treats in my pocket, so that when he does let me on, I want to make sure that he knows it's a positive experience, and I can give him plenty of treats once I'm on. And I always give him treats when he stood next to the mountain block properly, so it's not just that I immediately launch myself at him as soon as he's in position. So I just want to make it really nice and happy experience for him, and it has taken us a while to get to this kind of spot, because before it would take us about 15-20 minutes trying to get on him, where he would just be doing the steps or walking around the mountain block, and now we're getting to the point where there's still a bit of dilly-dallying, but at the end of the day I get on much quicker than before. But yes, it's just a case of convincing Dave it's all okay. I get on nice and slowly, put my foot in the stirrup, give him his obligatory treat because he's already looking around for his treat, and actually me being able to give him a treat from the saddle is something new as well, because he was a bit nervous for having a rider on when we first backed him. So now that he's realised that I am Treat Lady and Treat Lady is on me, which means Treat Lady has treats on her, It's really good. So then I let him walk off, and I give him another treat once he comes to a standstill when we've walked off, because before he can get a bit nervous and shoot off once I'm on him. So now I want to make sure that once we walk off, we do it nice and tidily, and then you get a treat. So I just took him for a walk outside, just try and get his back down a little bit, because it was all a lot going on for little bless him Dave. He has come so far. He's easily the most sensitive and the most sharp horse that I have ever owned. So it has been an experience with him. So even just being able to get on, riding, walking around, nice and relaxed as we are, and this is me actually a bit more tense than I normally am, because it's a competition environment. I'm always more tense. So this was a lot for him to deal with mentally, physically, and all the rest. And so even before we're even in the ring, I'm already proud of him and how he's behaving. So at the minute for our warm-up, so we're doing the intro first, which is just walk and trotting, because like I said, our canter is special at times. So I'm just moving him around the arena. The bottom half of the arena is actually full of horse-eating monsters, so we don't go down there often. Sometimes I will make him go down there, but on competition day, that is not a day to try and pick that fight. So I'm like, I'm just going to stay up this top end of the arena. I want him to have a nice time. I want him nice and relaxed. So my main goal was try and get him a bit more supple and a bit more over his back. And as the warm-up progresses, you can see that he's steadily listening to me more. He's obviously still just a baby, so we've got some balance issues, and sometimes he comes a bit above the contact, and that's because we are learning. So he's doing really well. So what I'm doing here is practicing doing smaller circles and then taking him out to a bigger circle and just getting him really listening to my leg and moving away from my leg, and he's going really nicely. He just felt really sweet. Felt like he was going around with a little smile on his face. But before long, it was time to go into the arena and time to walk across to do our very first dressage test. We have literally never done a dressage test before. So one of the big things that we're looking for is how Dave copes when all the movements start coming together in a sequence, which is actually very difficult and very different from schooling. So without further ado, it's time for a full test breakdown. So the very first movement, of course, is enter and working trot, proceed down the centre line, and then we're tracking right. And for this, we scored a 7, and the judges' comment says fairly straight, which is actually really positive for us, because sometimes we've been working on our centre lines, and sometimes we do wibble wobble down them a bit. So then next up we've got B, circle right, 20 metres diameter, and we scored a 7 for this. And I was really happy with that, because I was just counting in my head, making sure he was going nicely, and he was just going nice and sweetly and nice and forward. Then between B and F we've got a trot, walk, trot, and we scored a 7.5 for this, and the judge's comment is lovely rhythm, which is really good because, like I said, in my head I'm counting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to try and make sure that rhythm stays nice. Then at E, we've got a half circle right, 10 metres diameter to X, and then X half circle right, left, half circle left, 10 metres diameter to B. We scored a 7 for this, and judge's comment says needs more balanced outside shoulder in the first half of the circle, which is really good considering the fact that I got to this test and realised we'd never done 2 half tens before. Then for our next trot, walk, trot, we scored a 6.5, and that's because there was an inconsistent contact, and we saw his head come up a little bit there, and that's just where the training comes in and where we can work on that in the future. And I could have half halted him a little bit more and just let him know in advance that that was coming up a little bit more, but that's where putting the movements together in the test comes in. Then we've got our circle left, 20 metres diameter, and we scored a 7 for this. And the judge's comment says could be more supple around the inside leg, which I completely agree with. On the left rein, we do sometimes have some issues with me trying to get him a bit more supple to that left bend. Then between K and A, we've got the transition to medium walk, which he scored a 7 for. And then F, X, H, got to change the rein in free walk on a long rein. And this is our double marker, but it is not our strongest point. So we've got a 6.5 for this, and the judge's comment says fair ground cover, needs to draw contact forward and down. So with Dave, it's just getting him to relax down over his back and reach out, whereas Dave likes it when I hold his hand. He doesn't like it when he has to take it, which is something we can work on and something that I need to prepare him for more, but he's being such a good boy. Then we've got H, medium walk, C, circle right, 20 meters diameter, and then between X and C, transition to working trot. So in this medium walk, I'm really trying to keep him forward. He's sometimes just looking at things around because this is a completely new environment for him, but he's doing so well. So then I'm just preparing him for this trot transition, and we scored a 7 for that, which I was really happy with. Then MXK, we've got to change the rein in working trot, which we scored Dave's very first 8 for. Oh, he's such a cool horse. He's so good, bless him. And then A, we've got to turn down the centre line. So sharper corners, like this is kind of like a half turn. I've got to really try and prepare him for it. And then at X, we've got a transition to medium walk, and we scored a 7 for this. The judges' comment says accurate, then lost some straightness. So, you know, we're almost there. So it's all in there. And then for G, we got to halt immobility salute, which we scored a 6.5 for, and that's because his quarters went left in the halt. But I'm so proud of him. Alright guys, I'm just trying to stop Dave from running over my mother currently. So we've just done intro 1 and Dave was such a good boy. The main thing that I wanted out of it today was to make sure that Dave had a good experience, and I believe that's what we did. He just went round, jolly as anything. It was really sweet, don't mind what it scored. He had a good time and I was so proud of him because he just went in there with a little smile on his face and everything was just light and goodness and fairies and Christmas. So I'm really pleased. We've got the prelim next. Not sure how that's going to go. Like I said, don't mind. It'll just be fun to try. So let's get warming up for that one. Right, so it is currently at 12:06. I'm on for the next test at 12:39, but I've just got off him, loosened his girth. I'm going to let him have a drink, a bit of hay. Not taking his bridle off because he literally doesn't care about eating around his bit. So he's not bothered whatsoever. Plus, I'd still need to get on him with enough time that if there's any messing about, we've still got time, we don't want to go in late. Gonna give him a little canter beforehand and we're just gonna wing it and it'll be fun. So for his second test, I got on Dave with about 15 minutes for me to try and wake him back up again because he got his relax and I just wanted him to have a little chill to try and digest just what we'd been up to. And bless him, he came back ready to rumble. He was such a good boy. So I don't want to do too much in this warm-up because the last thing I want to do is last thing I want to do is overcook him, but what I do need to do is give him a canter, so that's exactly what I'm doing here. So like I said, our canter's a little bit shaky. Last week we didn't have a left canter, so the fact that he's so happy and is going for it at the minute is great. So let me tell you, we're going into this test, I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be fun. But like I said, he's feeling really nice. I just wanted to make sure that he was listening to me, and I wanted to make sure that he was nice and chilled. And there was no pressure on. We are just here for a good time, and all I want is for him to have a really nice first experience. So I'm trying to move him around the school, much like he would be in the arena, and make sure that he's comfortable going down the long sides, going in the circles, and just generally having a good time, and also trying to put in a few transitions here and there. And he's going really well, so I'm really happy with him. Like I said, I'm not sure how it's going to go in the arena because obviously it's a 20x14. He's used to working in this big school and he is a big boy and he has a lot of legs. So it's just making sure that he's nice and balanced, just working on that canter. So I'm giving him plenty of opportunities to canter in the warm-up, just so it's kind of not jump scaring him when it comes to the test. So this will be his very first prelim. Baby boy's got his big pants on, and guys, I just can't describe how happy and proud of him I am. He is going around like an absolute gem. I'm toying around with a bit of sitting trot because sometimes he is actually more comfortable with me sitting, and that stems from when I very first started riding him. He was actually happier with me sitting on his back because I was actually doing less movement. So when I want to settle him and just soothe him for a bit, I'll quite often do some sitting trot and just get him really operating underneath me, and he feels incredible. I genuinely just can't describe it any other way to you guys. So yes, I'm super looking forward to doing the prelim. Like I said, not sure what it's going to be, but either way, I'm so proud of him. So at the minute, I'm just doing a few leg yields here and there, and that's just making sure that he's listening to my legs again, listening to my body, and it's generally just getting him to resupple once again, because after he's had a little time to let his brain switch off, we need to get it back online, and he is just absolutely killing it. So I'm doing plenty of change in the rein, plenty of leg yields, and generally just moving him around and getting him to go nice and sweetly, which we are achieving. One of the other things I've been quite careful with Dave is that I have been very sure to make sure that he is always working and is always quite happy going in the arena with other horses. And I've done that right from the very start, right when I used to lunge him before I got on him. Someone else is in the arena, as long as they were okay with it, I would work Dave with them in the arena. And that way, this is his very first warm-up. He's completely fine about it because he's seen it all. So before long, it was time to head in for take 2. Let's do this, guys. So the very first movement is, of course, the centre line, and then at C we're tracking left. Now for this we scored a 6.5, and the centre line itself was fairly straight, but the judges commented on the fact that I lost his attention on the turn, and that's just where the pair of us are a bit green. Then at E we've got to circle left 20 metres diameter and then trot round to F. And for that we scored a 7, and once again I am just counting in my head, making sure he's going nice and sweetly, nice and forward. At times he's just looking around at things, and you know what, at least he gets the opportunity to do so. I'm really happy with him. Then FXC, working trot, and then C we've got to turn right. So this bit you've got to go from the corner marker to X and then go straight up the centre line again, because we love going in straight lines. And we scored a 7 for this, and that's because we had a nice rhythm, so really happy with that. And then at B we've got a circle right 20 metres diameter. So this is all the changing of reins, putting all the movements together, and I'm really happy with the fact that he's able to be able to do all this without, you know, losing his balance. So he's going really well, and we scored a 7 for this as well. And this is the same horse where, like a couple months ago, if I was changing the rein, I had to let him know well in advance, otherwise he would get very upset with me. Then at C, then we've got KXC working trot, and then at C we've got to track left, and we scored a 7 for this as well, so I was really happy with that. And then between C and H we've got to transition to medium walk, and we scored a 6.5 for this, and that's because it was a little abrupt to the walk. And bless him, he's just listening to my body so well. That's where I need to work on with him, doing more half halts, because at the minute we've got kind of a handle on doing the full transitions, so that's where we need to put the transitions within the paces in and stuff like that, just to be able to get him to listen to me, and for me to be able to set him up for success. So the change in rein and medium walk we scored a 7 for, which was really good because I was trying to push him on nicely. And then BE we've got half circle right 20 metres down and free walk on a long rein, and we scored a 6 for this. That's because he needs to draw the contact forward and down and give the steps more purpose. So that's where I just need him to encourage him down and out and just swinging through his back a bit more. That is something we can definitely work on. Then for our change rein and medium walk we scored a 7 for this, which I was really happy with. Then we've got a transition to working trot, we scored a 7. Then the transition to working canter we scored a 6.5, and the judge's comment says obedient transition but lost the balance between K and A. I was just happy we got the right strike off. Now Dave's feeling a little bit onward bound, so in our circle left 20 metres down we scored a 6, and that's because he needs more balance on the circle, but that will come with time and muscles. Then our transition to working trot we scored a 6, and that's because he fell to trot. I was just happy he came back to trot, to be honest. Then F to B working trot, B to E working trot, we scored a 7 for that. Our trot work is on fire. And then between H and C we've got transition to working canter right, and we scored a 6 for this, and that's because it's obedient but he went a bit hollow. Then for our circle we scored a 6 because he's lacking balance, and I swear he was getting faster and faster. It was so funny. And then we've got to canter down the long side, and you can see me leaning further and further back because at F, David, we've got to trot, please.
So for our transition to working trot, we scored a 5.5, which is generous, and that's because he was hollow and fell to the trot. And then for our turn down the centre line, we scored a 6, and that was because he was out of balance. We did well to get on the centre line. He was such a good boy. He dealt with that like a gem.
Okay, so we've done prelim 1 and he was such a good boy. I don't know if we get extra points for the speediest canter, and that last centre line was actually hilarious. I was laughing going down it, but bless him, he was such a good boy. It was really green and babyish, and that's totally what I expected. I'm so pleased with him. What he did have was an absolutely smashing attitude towards it all, which is a really good indicator for the future. So I'm really, really proud of him, bless him, regardless of the score. Who's a cutie patootie? Okay guys, so Dave is now back in his stable. I just need to take out his plats, but we have our first score back. David, look what you did. So we scored 70.45%, and for his first ever dressage test, I am so pleased with him. The judge really liked him. She said that he's a stunning horse, and yes he is, because he's the beautifulest. So yeah, we just lost a little bit of suppleness, which is to be expected because we're not used to working in a 20x40, because normally we're in the big indoor. But I'm so pleased with him. He was such a good boy. We're certainly not going to score that in the prelim because the canter work, like I said, was interesting, but I'm so proud of him, and he's had a really good experience today, which is the main thing. So I'm just going to go put him and Jensen, where are you? There you go. Him and Jensen out in the field, because poor Jensen's been waiting to go out all morning. Put him and Jensen out in the field, they can chill out, and then I think it's cheesy chip time, guys. Right guys, so I've got my second sheet, and Dave officially has his first rosette. So he got 4th place and he scored 65%, which I am really pleased with. He was just such a good boy. We've got plenty to work on, like the balance. Obviously he was in a small arena today that he's not used to working in. So that is something that we can work on and improve, because he is such a big horse and he is all legs. So we can work on working him in there and getting him to balance a bit more, going around kind of the sharper turns and stuff like that. But I'm so proud of him. He was a little legend today, and it's a great start to his career. Okay guys, so that is all from me today. I super hope you enjoyed watching this video, because I know that I enjoyed bringing you all along with me. It has been an incredible day. Dave has been excellent. He and Jensen have got to enjoy the afternoon out in the field, having a great time. And I know, like, honestly, I'm just so genuinely proud of this little man. He did so well, and considering the fact that I've had coaches turn around to me and tell me that he is a pros horse, a lot of amateurs would have given up on him. He's very hot, he's very sensitive. So for him to go out in those test conditions that he has never been under before and perform as well as he did is absolutely amazing. And genuinely, we've set him up for success, because he's had such a good day, bless him. So yes, from me and all the horses, it is goodbye.